Welcome to Heartbeat of Holliston. I'm Melissa Casburn, and tonight I'd like to introduce Heartbeat's newest contributor and anchor, Brian Winston. A little bit about Brian. He's an experienced sports reporter for HCAT. You've seen him covering Tondorf Summer Youth Baseball, Youth Football, Metro West Travel Basketball, High School Varsity Baseball, and High School Varsity Basketball. So welcome, Brian.
Thanks, Melissa.
Thanks for
I'm excited to be here. This is great. Yeah. Tonight our guests are from the Holliston Newcomers and St. Mary's Knights of Columbus. We bring you the stories on 3 fun and rewarding sports competitions, right up my alley. The Guns and Hoses Battle of the Badges basketball game, the Knights of Columbus free throw competition, and the Special Olympics skiing competition. Finally, you'll hear from a local author about her children's book and visit a gallery exhibit by a Korean artist. Thanks for joining us, and let's get the show rolling.
For over the past 50 years, Holliston Newcomers has fostered community spirit, carried out countless service hours, and donated thousands to our town. We're thrilled to have a past president and current president of Newcomers as our guests. So welcome to Loretta, Heuer, and Christel Dipippo. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. I might have been president sandwiched in between both of you. So yeah, lots of exciting things happening with Holliston Newcomers right now. Can you tell us a little bit?
Well, I think our biggest change is we're doing business as Holliston Newcomers and Neighbors. So we've dropped the club, we've added the neighbors. I think it was a misconception that you had to be new to be part of this club, and we're hoping to attract more members that way. So, and that had to be very official. We had to go to town hall, we had to have a special quorum and a meeting. So we're happy. That was a big goal that I had this year, and everyone I knew supported it. So it was a really good and welcome change. Yeah. And due to that change, we are having a logo contest.
I saw that on Facebook. Yeah. So it's good. The word's getting spread.
Oh, good. That's nice to hear. So April 30th is the deadline for that. If you want to design a new logo, $100 for the winner. So.
Okay. And is all the information on the website and Facebook page?
Yeah.
All right. Great. Yep. I'm sure we have a lot of creative people in town, so hopefully you'll get some good submissions for that.
Yeah. And you don't even have to be in town. It can be anywhere.
That's
so
true.
If you have creative friends around the nation, go for it.
Great.
Sounds pretty exciting. How have things changed over the years? You know, and also trying to stay true to the mission of trying to better the community and get people involved.
Well, 45 years ago when we moved here, Newcomers was proprietary welcome wagon, and it was only 3 years of being in Newcomers. And the goal was less of a service organization than a support organization for people who are new. So that people didn't have to feel they were joining something that was already an established club. We were all new. They had lots of different activities, so you could meet people who were interested in, back then there was macrame, or couples dinners, or gardening, we called it roots and shoots, cookie exchange, things like that. So you would meet people who were interested in things you were, and then after 3 years, you had found them.
Yep.
And some of the most long-standing friends that I have were people that I met like that first year. We still are Christmas card list people, kind of things. So, and there was a big change when all of a sudden my husband and a bunch of men wanted to pick up basketball on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. And they said, well, why can't we join Newcomers? Which meant we got an influx of people whose spouses were not interested in something, but they got sucked in too. So, and that's when we also became incorporated because of liability issues for sports and stuff like that.
Oh, so that's what kind of fostered that incorporation. That's interesting.
And that also fostered, you can be here more than 3 years.
Yes.
Because they wanted to keep playing basketball.
See, it's interesting to see how those things kind of, and now, with changing to Newcomers and Neighbors, it makes people realize that it truly isn't just for newcomers, it's for anyone that's in town. So tell us a little bit about, I know fundraising has changed a lot over the years, but that's still a big component of Newcomers, like you said, as it's moved away from, well, not moved away, it's still a support, but now you also do give back to the community through fundraising. So what are some of the big fundraisers that you're doing right now?
Well, we just had our first ever rock and roll bingo, and that was really fun. It was a great night, and everybody I talked to afterwards was like, "You have to do this again next year." I'll tell all my friends. So it was a very positive response. And then this Saturday, we're doing our second annual Princess and Superhero Party, and this has gotten bigger than our first one last year. We sold out. We had a 215-person capacity at Christ the King, so now we moved it to Placentino Cafetorium and have doubled the princesses, doubled the superheroes. So, and we have Officer Hagen and the new Canine Mattis. They're doing a search and retrieve demonstration. And a lot of area businesses are coming. Next Generation Martial Arts will show some superhero moves to everybody. I'd like to find some new moves.
We'll have to defend ourselves against the kids that are learning them. You know, maybe we'll just do the defensive. So, and is this something that's open to anyone, or do you have to be a member of Newcomers to?
Oh no,
participate?
it's open to everybody. So it doesn't matter what town you live in. And it's $10 per ticket, and all of the money raised will go to our grant funds that we award every spring.
And you're starting to come up on grant season, correct?
We are, yep.
Yeah.
Wow, a lot going on, it sounds like.
It's busy, yeah.
So, and you've been here 45 years with the organization? That's a long time.
Well, I could be more than 3 years because I was president, and when you're president, you're emeritus, and you always get the newsletter, and you get, you know, all the info on what's happening. So
how about some of the memories over the years? Any funny stories? So anything that comes to mind that you could share with us, a little bit of the history?
We had a babysitting co-op, and you didn't know these families, but you got to know them because they would take care of your kids on an hour or two basis if you had an errand or something to do. And those people also wound up to be probably my closest friends. We like to say that one of them was, if I died in a plane crash, and they offered to take care of the kids, kind of thing. So I mean, that's how strong the roots go. And we also had like things for children, similar to yours, but not 200 kids, kind of thing. So it was more focused on families, activities, co-ops, and adult stuff. So yeah, it was a good time.
And I guess that's the idea, right? You make some friends, and they become
long-standing friends.
Right.
I don't want to say old friends. They're long-standing friends. Yeah.
A little bit about, like, if somebody is new to town, what do you think? Obviously, you've developed some long-standing friendships, but what would you say is the #1 reason to get involved in Newcomers? What have you found?
I think for me, it started as when we moved here, we both commuted to Newton, dropped the kids off at daycare, we came home, made dinner, put them to bed. We weren't really meeting anybody. And actually my old boss was like, "Oh, you're moving to Holliston, you should join this club." So I knew about it because of him, but the friends that I've made through, especially the early days, are similar to her relationships. You know, one of them a family has moved to Chicago, yet we still vacation with them every summer.
Oh, nice.
We'll see them every Christmas or Thanksgiving when they come home because they have family around here. And it's been really great in that sense.
So it sounds like it really, you know, gives you that sense of community, and you find people in town that you can connect with. And even if it's just, I think, seeing a familiar face when you go to Superette or the library, just knowing, like, oh, I know that person, and feeling that connection.
Well, on top of that, I would say, for me, when I first came here, I met people through the playgroups and the children's activities, but now, and I think people wonder, you know, why do you stay? I've met my people, I'm good now, I feel comfortable in town. But honestly, the people I've met, Debbie Colburn, she's our second VP, she is a firecracker, and she's retired. She's lived here for over 25 years, and she just joined a couple years ago.
See, there we go.
Yeah, and it's just really great people like that I would not have met. How would I have met them? Or people who have kids in college. It's just nice to meet people in all areas of life, and she's someone I really look up to.
Yeah,
I would second that, because you can be new in very different ways. You could be new because you just moved to town. You could be new because you've lived in town and you just have a baby. You can be new because you've just retired.
Yeah.
So there are all reasons to be new, not just how long you've been in town.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't
think
have thought that either. You know, I
Yeah.
hear newcomer, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
it's just really for the people who just moved here who don't know many other people.
Well, when you've been working a long time and you are retired, you don't know necessarily the people, you know, who are going to be part of your life. And that's how Newcomers, I think, works. And why I think, you know, the 3-year idea had a good model, but I think this longer standing one is also important too.
Yeah, that's great. Well, of course, the HollistonNewcomers.org is your website, and all the information of activities is on there. I also know that you have a Facebook page, so for any of our listeners looking for more information, you could always go to www.HollistonNewcomers.org. Thank you both to Loretta and Christel for being here, and of course, thanks to Newcomers for 50 years of fun and community service. You are a great asset to our town. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Holliston's appreciation for our fire department and police department runs deep. In March, a new community event benefited the 3 scholarship funds associated with our first responders. The Guns and Hoses basketball game was a battle of the badges between our police and fire departments. Let's hear from the organizers and see Holliston's finest in action.
We're here with the organizers of the event, Joanne Gary and Denise Moore. Joanne, tell us how this got started.
So I just wanted to do a different fundraiser other than a golf tournament that we've done over the past few years for a dear friend of mine that passed on the police department 4 years ago now, Sean Moore. So I also wanted to just do some kind of a community event. I wanted to get us all back together, small town, big town, just get it, and this is what I thought of. But I couldn't get off the ground, but we did it this year.
Great, that's great. And Denise, I understand this was your husband, Sean. I knew him well. And this is part of this is a scholarship in his name.
Yes, yes.
And so you're raising money for that scholarship.
Correct. To give away a scholarship, a $1,500 scholarship to a graduating senior majoring at any college of their choice in criminal justice, or if they're going into any of the armed forces in military policing. So either one of those, yeah.
Okay. And there are 2 other scholarships involved here, right, Joanne?
So there's Officer John Johnson, who died in line of duty in 1981. There's a scholarship in his name. His daughter actually is here helping us out, Jess Aronson. And there's also one for the fire department, which is their relief aid.
And every year, these scholarships are given out at awards night for the seniors?
Yep, for a graduating senior.
And, you know, I just wanted to say thank you to Jo for doing this, because this has been her little baby.
I know,
So I really appreciate everything that she's done. I really do. She's a good friend.
All right, Chief, tell us, how many men on the team?
We get about 14 or 15 for the police side.
Yeah. And any ringers in the group?
Of course.
Really?
Of course, yeah. I can't give my secrets away, though.
Oh, all right. Well, so if we had to put some money down, where should we be putting our money?
I would bet the blue team. We had a lot of practice. We got a lot of young talent, so I'm going with blue.
I know if you guys were allowed to bring your tools of the trade, I'd be certainly voting for you guys.
No, this is a great event. We're lucky to have people in the community supporting it, and it goes to a great cause. So we're looking forward to a good game. So.
Well, thanks very much for taking the time. We look forward to a great game.
All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
The large and enthusiastic crowd cheered the breakaways, rebounds, steals, and even some three-pointers. No dunks, though, in this game. Fire department won 55 over the police 54, so a one-point game. The game raised over $1,200 and met all expectations. We look forward to a rematch next year. Our next story is another perspective on sports, fun, and charity. St. Mary's Knights of Columbus Council, number 142224, holds an annual free throw contest for youths 9 to 14 years old. Here is Don Martin of the Knights to tell us about this fun and rewarding competition.
Hi, my name is Don Martin, and I'm a member of the Holliston Knights of Columbus, St. Mary's Chapter. This is my 12th year on the Knights of Columbus, and I do the basketball shoot every year about this time in January. It is a national program run by the Knights of Columbus. The competition involves the youth of Holliston here for boys and girls 9 to 14 years of age. And what they do is they come together down here, and in the local competition, they shoot 15 free throws. And as they progress, if they win the local competition, they go on to a district, from the districts to the regional, and then from the regional, they go on to the state finals. We've had 3 winners of the states over 10 years. They get awards for all of the levels. The districts, they get trophies. The regionals, they get trophies. And then, of course, they have a big trophy for the state finals. We have offices in the Knights, and each one has a specific category that they're responsible for. And I chose, because I've been a teacher for so many years, that I'm involved with kids in sports always, to do the youth program, and the youth program involves the free throw contest, which is, as I said, nationwide, sponsored by the Knights of Columbus. Last year was our largest participatory event. We had 52 youngsters last year in all of the categories taking part. And I was surprised at the number of people that thought we did charge a fee. And the answer is, no, we don't.
Holliston youth are hoop stars. We had 3 district champions who went to the state championship. Last year, 2 Holliston youths became Knights of Columbus state champs.
And now we welcome a Grand Knight Al Scaramella and Deputy Grand Knight Tom Anguish to tell us more about the Knights of Columbus. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So why don't we start off with a little bit of who are the Knights of Columbus?
The Knights of Columbus is a service organization worldwide. There are over millions of brothers, we call ourselves brothers, all over the world. Our council started 11 years ago, and it's a service council. Our motto is in service to one and service to all, where we're out there to help the church, our family, and the community. And as you can see, one of the things that was just done was the basketball challenge, where we run it every year, and we have winners go up from region to the state. And we do other charitable works around town. All our members do different things. We have home habitat. What is
Habitat for Humanity.
Habitat for Humanity, where we have volunteers there. We have volunteers at the senior center, volunteers at the food pantry, the veterans. We have a group of gentlemen that go on a monthly basis to the veterans home and take and help on a Sunday morning with the veterans. But the organization is to serve.
Yeah, it sounds like you have quite a lot of service projects and a lot of ways for people to get involved. So even within Knights of Columbus, they can really find maybe a project that speaks to them.
That's what we ask. You know, they come, let us know what you're interested in so we can build and make our council stronger, and plus the Knights stronger.
So it sounds like you guys have a lot going on, service to everybody. What are some of the, any upcoming events that you guys have?
Well, we are very active. What we're probably most visible for is our annual charity raffle. And this year's our 11th annual charity raffle, and in the past 10 years we've donated over $185,000.
Wow, that's a good amount.
It is, and a lot of it is, we've donated, for example, over $50,000 to the food pantries, almost $40,000 to the senior center, and over $40,000 to veterans organizations. We've actually donated to 34 different functions or appeals over the past 10 years. But our primary functions, our primary donations go to these major things like the food pantries, veterans, and the senior center.
And now it sounds like your particular Council of Knights of Columbus, are you solely Holliston, or do you cover a group of towns in Metro West?
We're Holliston based.
Okay.
We have some members that come from different towns, but there are councils in different towns, and they may cover it. We just have, our home is Holliston.
Okay.
And that's what we serve. When we do our raffle, we do go to different towns and sell at the shopping centers. And we do contribute to the food pantries in those shopping centers and towns.
Okay.
How often do you guys get together? Meetings? A couple times a month?
We meet once a month. We have it's called a business meeting where we'll go over the projects and I'll go over the agenda, go over the calendar of what's coming up, what we're going to be doing, what we have to do. And we'll meet once a month, and we have 68 members right now, and normally we get about 25 come at once a month, which is pretty good.
Yeah, maybe we should change the name from business meeting to something a little more jazzy and
maybe that would get more people.
Yeah, you got to trick them with the name.
We're always looking for new ways to get guys there.
I'll have to bring that up.
So if somebody's interested in being involved in the Knights of Columbus, how would they get in touch with you? Are you
They could.
looking
We
for
have
new
a
members?
website,
Okay.
and it's the www.kfc14224, or they could contact myself or Tom to get interested in, and we would talk with them and let them know what's involved, what's going on. Sometimes we have an expression, we say a 12-hour night. You know, you can't do everything, but you can come to some meetings, go out and help with the projects. One of the main projects is the raffle, but also in October we have a Tootsie Roll drive where we collect money all over the country. They do it on Columbus Day, and this money goes to help special need projects. And we give it to the state, and then they turn around and give it to projects around the state. You petition for it. In fact, our council has just petitioned and won, and we gave a $6,000 donation to build ramps for somebody. This young girl she was on her wheelchair, and they couldn't move her up anymore. She was getting bigger. She was growing up, so they asked us, and we put in a petition to get the money to give her, and we got $6,000 to fill that petition.
That's great. So it's not only the large organizations, it's you can really see that effect you have on that singular person, and that can be life-changing, the ability to, feel like you can move freely in and out of the home and to help the family.
That's very right.
So, that's
and it
great.
sounds like you guys connect with people from other communities as well.
Yes. We meet with different councils. We met with Ashland Council last month, talked with them about projects going on together. You were going to...
No, I was going to say, you're right. We do get involved with the other councils too, and it's nice that since we're so involved in charitable work, that the other councils reciprocate. They say, that's absolutely fine. You can come in and do something, some fundraising in our town, and we're looking for ways to actually do functions, do activities with the other towns. One of the councils does their own version of Special Olympics, and we're talking with them about possibly joining them this year and doing an activity, helping them with their functions. So it's a great way to give back. We feel we're very blessed, and it's nice to be able to give back to, now that we're a little bit older.
One of our members says it's his way of giving back. And a lot of us say that now to help out, let's do it. We've all had our time, and now let's help others.
Yeah. So, you had mentioned that the raffle is coming up. So is there an end date to that? It sounds like you're starting to sell now. And are there places we can find you to get those tickets?
Oh, absolutely. This weekend we'll be in downtown Holliston.
Oh, perfect.
And at Fist and Superette, Coffee Haven, and the hardware store. Next week we'll be at Stop and Shop, now that their strike is over.
I was going to say they're open now.
That's right. The following week we'll be at Market Basket in Bellingham, and so we have different functions. And on our website, you can see where we're going to be at any particular time.
Okay.
But the exciting thing for us this year is, in the past, we have made our donations at Celebrate Holliston, on stage at Celebrate Holliston in September. This year we're actually going to draw our winning tickets. We have 5. And the raffle there's 5 winners from $100 to $1,000. We're going to draw those tickets on stage too, and so we're hoping that the winners will be in the audience, in the crowd, or it'll be really nice. And so we'll be doing some of our donations at Celebrate Holliston, plus drawing the winning tickets. So
That'll be fun.
Early in the day, too, so tell everybody.
Right after the parade. You want to get that prime spot.
Right after the Citizens of the Year.
Perfect.
We're the next people on the stage.
You still have an active audience then.
Yes, that's right.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and really thank you and Knights of Columbus for your service. You really make a big impact on our community.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being here.
Yep.
Thank you. HCAT's production manager, Don Cronin, is an avid skier and ace reporter. In the next story, he covers Holliston resident Brian Arnold's volunteer work with the Special Olympics.
Special Olympics of Massachusetts recently held its annual alpine skiing winter competition at Wachusett Mountain in Princeton, Mass. These annual games have taken place in Massachusetts for over 30 years. Holliston resident and skiing enthusiast Brian Arnold plays an important role with training and motivating these special athletes.
Well, I'm an assistant coach within the Neshoba Shooting Stars. It's one of the ski teams that's affiliated with Massachusetts, or Special Olympics of Massachusetts, and we just help out with the athletes, getting them on the mountain, getting them motivated. You know, if they need training, a lot of times they don't. Some of them are really good skiers, but in general, what we do is just kind of provide encouragement to the athletes. My wife was looking for something for us to do as a family for some service. Noticed online that there was a Winter Olympics for Special Olympics. We said, you know, we all love to ski, my daughters and I, and said this would be something great for the whole family, and that's how we started about a year ago with the 2018 Winter Games.
Head coach and event organizer Bob Russell and his wife have been managing the Neshoba Shooting Stars for the past 20 years.
Well, I started out as just a parent, and my son DJ was beginning to ski, learn how to ski, and I went on snow as a volunteer, and about 4 years later got the opportunity to take over the team as a head coach.
This year, more than 160 volunteers and 77 coaches helped make this popular winter tradition a success.
It's like a community here where we've been really a ski team family now. Most of our families and the athletes have been with us for over 20 years. They come back each year because it gives them something more added to their lives. On our team, that's one of the biggest things we do, make smiles. The athletes are happy and having fun. We like to have them progress their skills, but some of the advancement comes just because they're having fun.
A total of 79 skiers participated this year, ranging from 9 to 56 years of age. Special Olympian Christopher Dunn tells us why he competes in Special Olympics.
I have been a Special Olympics athlete now for 12 years, and I was dragged into it not knowing what exactly ski racing was. I saw the gates and I didn't really know what they were, and then I started to learn, oh, this is ski racing and how much fun it is. I love being active, like getting out of the house. It's a lot of fun for me to be able to do something skiing, track and field, and to be very active. It's very healthy and it's a lot of fun too.
With a combined time of 2 minutes, 0.63 seconds, in first place for the gold medal is Samuel Patterson.
At the conclusion of the two-day alpine competition, it's time for the much-anticipated awards ceremony.
I think really what comes through is like the friendship that you have with these athletes. You know, their personalities, their girlfriends, their boyfriends, you know, the things they go through at work, they're just like everyone else. They're so inspiring, the things that they have to overcome, but then again, they don't feel like they're doing anything special. They're just having fun skiing. And so that's inspirational. It's like, you know, you can do anything if you can see what they can overcome to do what they're doing.
The gold medal goes to Maya Lenormand.
You know, see the emotion that these athletes have when they're receiving the awards, you know, especially if they've worked really hard, but also, you know, maybe not sure of their performance, and then to see it pay off at the end. I tell you, I had tears in my eyes today during that ceremony.
Special Olympics is a very fun organization, and I encourage all families in Mass that don't know about Special Olympics to look it up. It's very fun for people with disabilities. It makes them feel like a true Olympian. We can always use more volunteers. Our strength is the volunteers. My wife Judy and we might be organizing things, but it's the people that are on the snow with the athletes that make the difference. It's a great thing.
Congratulations, buddy.
There's magic in inclusion, and I think that's really what Special Olympics is all about. When you see these people, and I think about the athletes in their bright blue jackets from the Show of Shooting Stars, ripping by people on the slopes, you don't realize that they're Special Olympians. And frankly, these are the same people that you're working with. They're in your office. They're in your classes. So it's just be inclusive.
This is an inspiring story about these special athletes and the community that supports them. If you would like to to volunteer or get more information, please visit www.specialolympicsma.org or go to their Facebook page at Special Olympics Massachusetts.
The Bray family settled in Mudville in 1840, and they own and operate Bray Hill Country Store on Concord Street, which deals in antiques and gifts. Elaine Carrier is the sixth generation to live in Holliston. As a child, she collected old books, read Nancy Drew detective stories, and played in the woods around her home. Elaine combines her childhood roots with a message of tolerance and respect in an adventure book called The Chatterbox Girl.
Holliston author Elaine Carrier has written a children's book called The Chatterbox Girl. I visited Elaine at her home to hear her story. Elaine, what was your inspiration for writing The Chatterbox Girl?
I grew up in Holliston in the 1960s and 70s, and it was a really fun town to grow up in. Kids were independent back then, and we played outside all the time. All these woods here, we'd explore, we'd go fishing and hiking and all that, and we had tree forts, so it was kind of our own world, our own world of adventure.
So exactly what's the theme of the story?
So it starts out in the summer of 1975, and the main character is an 11-year-old girl named Poppy McGee, and you get to know her and her family and her friends. And like I said, it was summer. They had just finished school, so they go exploring in the woods, and they find an old cabin in the woods. And the book completely changes right there. Midway, it becomes an adventure story. There's some history in it because there's like an old grist mill in it, and there's a lot of unique, kind of quirky fantasy characters. So it's a fun read.
What is a chatterbox?
A chatterbox is a lot of people call them cootie catchers or fortune tellers, but it's these little toys here that kids play with at school, and the one in the box is a magical chatterbox.
Oh, I see. That's awesome. Yeah. What else is in your box here?
Back in the old day, these were called cheaters, and they were basically magnifying glasses. So there's a magic pair of these in the book. And there's a compass, an old compass from one of the characters. They use it to explore the woods with. And there's some wooden carved animals. They're part of the story. And an old stuffed tiger.
So tell me about how you got it published.
Well, I spent 6 months researching everything that I was going to write about, like grist mills and, the 70s, and I also used a lot of my father's Irish heritage in the book. The names of the characters in the fantasy world all mean something in Irish. So I researched all that kind of thing, and then I spent about a year writing it. It was very involved, but I loved doing it, and there were times when it was very challenging, but I didn't get discouraged because I just wanted to learn how to do it.
So you basically self-published this book, though?
Yes. Yeah, I self-published it. It's independent publishing. It's through Kindle Direct Publishing. I also published it through a company called Smashwords. So it's available not only on Amazon.com as a paperback and an ebook, but it's available on like BarnesandNoble.com, Google Books, Apple Books, anywhere that sells ebooks. It's available in a fluid format so that it can be read in any kind of reader. this cover was designed and illustrated by Maeve Norton. She grew up in Holliston, and she graduated in 2010, I believe. And she worked her way up, and now she is a senior illustrator for Scholastic Books in New York City. So I was really very pleased and, you know, overwhelmed by the fact that she said yes, that she would do my cover. And then my daughter Isabel, who graduated from high school with Maeve, did all the illustrations on the interior. There's a picture right here of Faraday, who's he's a cheetah that wears cheaters.
Of course. Great. Yeah. So how does it feel to be a published author? What's the next step?
It's fun. It was a fun adventure. The hard part is marketing, because once you've published it, you've just published it. Now you have to market it. So I'm learning a lot about, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and how to build an audience and how to get followers and get people interested in reading the book.
Wow, and now I think you're on a book tour too, right?
Yes, I've been going around to different libraries, middle schools, you know, trying to get the word out there. I'm having a book launch too, a book launch / luncheon in Medway in May. And so I'm going to be posting information about that online in all over town.
What message did you want to portray from this book?
Well, there's an underlying message throughout the whole book of tolerance. I have the kids go through experience where they meet characters. One of them has autism, another one is blind, and the kids realize during their adventures that everyone has something to offer, and to acknowledge people for what they have to offer instead of looking at their differences. And I think that there's a general message throughout the whole story of be tolerant of others, learn to work with them, and things will be fun, a lot more fun than if not.
Thank you so much, Elaine. For Heartbeat of Holliston, this is Christel Lawless.
The Chatterbox Girl will make a great gift or summer reading. It's available at FIS or in paperback on Kindle from Amazon.com. You can meet Elaine at a book launch on Sunday, May 19th in Medway. To find out more and get added to the guest list, go to www.thechatterboxgirlwebsite.com.
Central Street is lined with thriving businesses from Fisk's and the new restaurant Bar Athena down to Tabletop Pizza. You can satisfy your sweet tooth at Candy Cottage, repair your appliances with Joe Gallerani, frame your mementos in art at Guilfoyle Art and Framing, get all your home and garden supplies at Holliston Hardware, and enjoy a wine tasting at the Wine House. Right in the middle is Holliston Cleaners. The Heuer family has owned this business for 5 years. A unique feature of this business is the art gallery space. Sunny is an accomplished artist and a member of the Korean Culture Society of Boston. Her commitment to art resulted in providing space for her fellow society members and other local artists to exhibit their work. This winter, Holliston artist Rick Catman had a show. This month, Korean artist Ellie Rio had an opening. Here is the story of her inspiration.
I was born in Seoul, the capital of South Korea. About 2 years ago, I moved to Cambridge, Massachusetts with my husband because he got a postdoctoral researcher position at Harvard University. I studied fine art and art history in Korea, and I also went to New York State University as an exchange student. After graduation, I worked as a curator and art manager in a private art company in Korea. We collaborated with partner galleries located in the United States, UK, Singapore, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. And after I moved to US, I've been teaching an art class in HISPA, which is Harvard Student Spouse and Partner Association, and also in our Evergreen Art School in Brookline. Currently, I live and paint in Cambridge and also work at Harvard Business School. This painting was inspired in seasons. This one is spring, and this one is summer, and this one is fall. I tried to describe the colors of flowers in spring, and this one is the colors of bushes and like green leaves in summer, and this one is fallen leaves.
I really love her work because begin with that she's my wife, and those are artworks that reminds me some very beautiful ocean in my back in Korea.
This one I was inspired the tones in ocean. I went to the beach nearby and I thought like I would want to express the like multiple colors you could see in the ocean and the sunshine. I draw this yellow influence art to be paired with the my ocean scheme. I always thought the yellow colors goes well with the blues and mint colors, so I thought it would be nice to hang them together. I was born in a metropolitan city, capital of South Korea, and its population density is almost twice that of New York City, which is amazing. So my life, you can imagine, it was filled with vibrant colors and loud noises. I tried to capture the continuously appearing afterimage of busy life in the past by layering multiple colors at once. And I also tried to add depth on a flat canvas by carefully overlaying multiple layers. After the base work is done, I use Korean traditional spectrum color, 오방색, to fill up the canvas. I was inspired this artwork from the sunset, a really dark sunset with kind of hint of like rainbow spectrum. So I think the combination of the 오방색 color underneath and the sunset scene works really well.
Do you have a favorite artwork here?
What is your favorite? The yellow one and the green one.
지금 처음 와서 봤는데 너무 이쁘고 좀 정성스럽게 공을 많이 들인 것 같아요.
네, 색감 자체도 너무 작가의 개성이 뚜렷하고 약간 포근한 느낌의 작품성 있는 좋은 작품들인 것 같습니다.
저도 같은 작업을 하고 있는데요. 여기서 색감이 너무 좋고요. 그리고 안에 게 보이고 겉에 게 보이는 게 겹쳐지는 모양이 너무 예쁘네요. 네, 너무 좋습니다. 감사합니다.
The title of our artwork, Infamous, is a French word. It means a subtle difference between two things. I use this term to describe my identity crisis here in America. At first I came here, I thought it would be easy to make an American friend, but it was difficult than I thought. I don't have the same culture background, so now I understand that no matter how hard I try to immerse in American culture, my upbringing experience in Korea leaves a trace mark on my present life. This vaguely mixed color images represents my identity.
Please feel free to visit this bright and inviting gallery and enjoy a cross-cultural experience right here in Holliston.
Tonight we have a very special announcement. Heartbeat of Holliston was entered into a national contest sponsored by the Alliance for Community Media. The November 2019 show won first place in the Hometown Media Awards informational talk show series. We're thrilled to have this honor, and thank you to our viewers and citizens for inspiring the coverage that made this possible. So don't miss our award-winning show every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 7 p.m. on Channel 8 Comcast and Channel 32 Verizon. The show is also televised at other times. As always, you can watch us on any electronic device. Just go to the HCAT website at www.hcattv.org for easy access.
Join all the others who are watching Heartbeat on Facebook and YouTube by checking HCAT's Facebook and YouTube pages. We also have an updated e-blast function, which sends out announcements when new shows are scheduled to air. If you would like to be on this list, just contact us by email at office@hcattv.org or call 508-429-8979. With an email blast, you'll never miss a show you want to watch. Good night, Melissa.
I have to say, great first show.
Thank
I hope
you.
you'll be back.
Thank you. I'd love to. I'd be honored to come back. Absolutely not. This was fun.
Don't let ABC steal you. Yeah. Well, and good night, Brian. And good night, Holliston.